Good morning. It is hot and muggy out in the garden today. So yesterday we went and harvested a bunch of peppers and they look amazing. And so today I'm going to be doing a little recipe with them. So I'm going to be grilling up those green peppers and make a nice green chili and pork stew kind of a recipe. So I will post the link down below and let's get cooking. Alright, so we're just throwing our hot peppers on and we're just going to keep an eye on them and give a nice little char. So I only have the left two burners on right now, so we're just going to put them like that and we'll check on them in a minute or two. Oh yeah, those are charring nicely. Doesn't take long. So the recipe I'm making calls for 1 onion. These are exploding here. Oh, yeah, that one's split. Should be easier to get the skins off. Wish you could smell it. Wrap, literally. So now we're just going to put plastic wrap over top and let them sweat for a few minutes, and then we'll peel the skins off. Burners go off. That's about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little extra, but we won't tell.
A little extra never hurt anyone.
A little extra beef fat never hurt anyone. All right, so I like this burner.
Check up on the peppers.
So now that our green peppers have cooled down a little bit, you're just going to take your cutting board, you're going to take your knife, and you're just going to, you can take the back of the knife too if you don't want to worry about cutting into the flesh too much. Hold on to that. Oh, no. Sometimes they slide right off, sometimes they don't. And then you can scrape the seeds out. I'm not too worried about leaving some of the seeds in. And you're just going to want to give it a nice dice. And so this is the main flavor profile for this dish. So it's not going to have, it's just going to have some onion and some of this and some salt. It's not going to have a ton of other ingredients that will take away from the flavors. It's a very regional dish. So these chilies are called a New Mexico 6. And so they are related, I believe, to like the Hatch or the Anaheim, but Hatch chilies can only be grown in Hatch. So it's kind of like champagne. You can grow the same grapes other places in the world, but they cannot be called champagne unless they are from the Champagne region. So it's the same thing. Hatch have to be from the Hatch region in order to be true Hatch peppers. But this is a very similar variety. It was developed at the University of New Mexico in the 80s, I believe. The original Hatch one was developed there in the 1800s. And then in 1980, this was like a revised version of it. And that's where these seeds I actually got from the dollar store. And the plants have been extremely prolific, so I have no complaints over that. And they were nice and cheap. I think they were like 30 cents a pack. So that's hard to beat. Okay, so I have found a slightly easier way to peel it, especially now that they've cooled down. I chop the end off like that, and then you can just kind of slide your knife in like this. And the whole thing kind of just slides right out. So if you're not so impatient, it's easier to just to wait a little bit. And apparently the bees are intrigued by the smell of roasted chilies, so just a heads up on that. All right, so we got the lard in, we got our onions in. They're starting to soften. It's gonna add, it says 1.5 teaspoons of salt, so I can add more to taste later. Oh my god, that beef lard smells amazing. And then our chilies, so that's how much 12 chilies ends up being when you cook it down and seed them out. So it says to cook this down just for about a couple minutes until it softens, and then we'll put it back in that container, and then we will start pan frying our pork. It smells amazing. Oh my god, it smells so good. So this is a brand new recipe. I've never made it before. I have roasted chili in the past, but I've never made this specific recipe. It intrigued me because it just was so simple and basic, and so it's gonna really let that flavor of that pepper shine through. And yeah, the bees are really loving it. Cooking outdoors is no joke, people. These bees are all over it. Okay, so I think that looks good. It says about 3 minutes till soften, so then we're just gonna... Alright. They got a lot of nice color on there. Pull all that meat off. Pan, we add our 2 tablespoons of flour. So we're just going to cook the flour for about 3 minutes or so, just to kind of cook out that raw flour flavor, just like you would if you were making any kind of roux, gravy, white sauce, gumbo. Ooh, I like to do a lot of cooking like this in the house in the summer when it's hot, especially if you have the air conditioning on. It's like, why heat up the whole house? Okay, so we don't want it to burn. It's getting nice and dark. And I'm going to add in my liquid, which is 2 cups of chicken stock. Ooh. 2 cups of chicken stock and 1 cup of beer. If you don't want to use beer, you could use 3 cups of chicken stock. If you don't want to use chicken stock, you can use water or veggie stock. Whatever you want. Now we're just going to go around and get all those little flavor bits off the edge of the pan. Okay, so I brought the liquid to a boil just because it's kind of windy out here and it's blowing my flame around, so that'd be faster to heat it up that way. Get all of our ingredients back into the pot. Oh my goodness, that looks really yummy. Okay, and then we're just going to turn it to low, I believe, medium-low heat, and let it simmer for about an hour. So, see you back. So I have checked it a couple of times. It's been about 40 minutes. Oh my goodness. This smells amazing. So it needs to cook a little bit longer, but we have storm clouds moving in. I don't know if you can see those. So I am going to finish this up inside the house because once the thunderstorms hit, they hit fast. Alright, so here we are inside. The rain has started and I'm just sitting there simmering away. So it's almost ready. I'm going to check and see how tender it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's ready. Alright, so I apologize. Please no hate. I did not have time to make any homemade tortillas of any kind. Traditionally, I guess you serve this with flour or corn. So instead, I am using my frozen paratas. So these come in handy. They come frozen. So they're already made and shaped, but they're not cooked yet. And they come with the plastic separating them. They come in packs of like 5 packs of 5 in the one I buy. Take the frozen and put it in a hot pan and let it sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. So I'm going to cook those up and then we'll get to the plate. A little stack of paratas. I will post a picture up on the screen of what the package looks like because I don't have the package anymore. And I love having these on hand. They're frozen, they taste good. I eat them with Indian food, West Indian food, Mexican food, Greek food. We use these for pretty much a little bit of everything. And here is the stew, or chile, as they like to call it. It looks absolutely delicious. Ooh, you can see it's steaming. So here it is. We got a paratha on the side. We got our fresh limes, which apparently is a must. Traditionally, it's served with tortillas, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So we're gonna get a little taste here. Here is the bit of pork. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll be making this again for sure. Delicious. I think it'll be good with some potatoes in it, too. If that's not breaking any rules, unfortunately.